questions based on this lesson. Besides, you will be able to use the terms and phrases in your daily life. Means there are so many terms and phrases in this lesson which will be very helpful for you to improve your English of daily life. Therefore, dear students, before we proceed towards the lesson, let us know something about this lesson. As I have told you that a family went on a sea journey and there were 4 members in this family who went on a journey. Let us know the names of the members of this family. Dear students, as you see, there are 4 members. As I have already told you, the narrator aged 37, Mary his wife, Suzanne his daughter, means the daughter of the narrator, aged 7, and Jonathan his son, aged 6. His wife Mary means the wife of the narrator, and these 2 members were very eager to go on a voyage, especially his wife Mary. So the students, before we come to the text of this lesson, let us know some of the terms and area through which they traveled. Now students, I have written some of the special words which are used again and again in this lesson, and these words called ship terminology. Here we have taken most common words. Mast, M-A-S-T, mast is the longest pole on the ship. You must have seen it. Stern, the back portion of a ship. Starboard side means right side of a ship. Port side means left side of a ship. Bow means the front side of a ship. Anchor, anchor is a heavy object which is generally tied to a cable. It is used to stop or to slow the speed of a ship, generally to stop a ship. Hull is the outer body of a ship. Generally it is made up of wood. There are some other words which you must know. I have a book, and in the book there is exercise where you have to mark the names of the particular portions of the ship. Here it is indicated by arrow mark. I show you, if you can see. This here you see this front side. This longest pole is called hull, and this portion, dear students, you see, this is called beam. This is called beam. This portion, this is called sail. It is a kind of cloth which is tied to take the air pressure for sailing the ship. This portion is the front portion. This front portion is called the bow of the ship. This portion where I can indicate it with this pen, this is the hull, outer body of a ship. This is hull. This is keel. If you see it, I show you, this is keel, and this is rudder. It is used to control the ship. And this is cabin. This portion is cabin. So therefore, this exercise you have also solved. Here are some words which you have to name with the indication mark, which are made with arrow mark, and you have to name these portions of a ship. I repeat once more. Mast, this longest portion, this portion is mast. This is sail. One more thing is there, I have not written, but I tell you, that is zip. Zip is the small triangular shape sail, small triangular shape sail, which is used to sail the ship in slow motion. So these are some of the common words which are very important for you to learn. You should revise them time and again so that you may understand the lesson in very easy way. Now let us come up to the lesson. Now dear students, the lesson is going to be very interesting. Besides, it will fill you with curiosity. Here are some words, some phrases which you must take down so that whenever they occur while I teach you the lesson, these phrases and these terms must be clear to you. The first is honing or seafaring skills, pinpricks in the vast ocean, ominous silence, tousled head, mayday calls. These are some of the phrases. In the beginning they are given. Try to find them out in the lesson while I teach you. In July 1976, my wife Mary, son Jonathan, 6, daughter Suzanne, 7, and I set sail from Plymouth, England to duplicate the round the world voyage made 200 years earlier by Captain James Cook. Means the Captain James Cook took a journey about 200 years ago when this lesson was written, means from 1976. 4 persons I have told you, the writer, his wife, his daughter and his son. 4 persons. From where? From Plymouth, England. They started their journey from Plymouth, England. Now let us know the route of the journey, so I show you the world map. Now dear students, you see this is India, you can easily understand, and this portion is Europe, and here you see this is England, and from England they started their journey as it is written there in your book. They took this route, this you know. Then here you see Africa. There are so many countries, here you see. Then you see this point, here is Cape Town. Here in Cape Town, remember this point because this will occur in a very important place in your lesson. This place, Cape Town. From here they had to go to Australia, you see this. From this place to this place, there is Indian Ocean, you see. This is east side, this is west, this is south, this is north. Upper portion, north, south, then west, this is east. So keep in your mind, this route, through this route they had to go to Australia. They took 2 persons at Cape Town. Therefore Cape Town is important. This is world map. I think you must have understood it. Now let us proceed towards the lesson. Now the writer says that he had to repeat this journey which was completed 200 years earlier by Captain James Cook. For the longest time, Mary and I, means both of these persons, the narrator and his wife, a 37-year-old, means the writer was then 37 years old, had dreamt of sailing in the wake of famous explorer, and for the past 16 years we had spent all our leisure means free time, honing to our seafaring skill. Honing means sharpening, improving, means they went on improving their skills of sailing in the sea for a long time, up to 16 years in British waters, means in the ocean of British. Our boast wave maker, name of the ship or boat which they had built was Wave Maker, a 23 meter. What was the length of this boat? 23 meter, 30 ton, and its weight was 30 ton. A wooden hull, I have told you the meaning of hull, means this outer structure especially made of wood, beauty, and had been professionally built, means it was well built. And we had spent months fitting it, means they fitted it in so many months, means they took too much time in fitting it and testing it in the roughest weather we could find, and they also tested it so that they might face the challenges. The first leg of our planned 3 year. The first leg means the first part of our journey, means the first part of the journey of the writer, a 1,05,000 kilometers. 1,05,000 kilometers journey passed pleasantly, means first portion of the journey was completed without any let or hindrance, means very happily, pleasantly, happily, as we sailed down the west coast of Africa to Cape Town. Now remember the point I have shown you in the map where Cape Town is. Up to the Cape Town, there before heading east, means before they would proceed towards the east, we took 2 crewmen, they took 2 sailors, means this family took 2 sailors, American Larry Vigil. One of the sailor was Larry Vigil and he was American. Another sailor was Swiss, Herb Segler, means Herb Segler was the Swiss. So these two persons were taken by them to help us tackle one of the world's roughest seas. Means they took these two persons so that these two persons would help them whenever they would fall in difficulty in the southern Indian Ocean. I have also shown you in the map where Indian Ocean is. Now on the next page. On the next page we see, on our second day out of Cape Town, we began to encounter strong gales. Means when they sailed from Cape Town, they had to face a number of difficulties of strong gales. Gales means strong winds, storms type. For the next few weeks, they blew continuously. For next some weeks, these storms or these strong winds went on blowing continuously, means without any stoppage. Gales did not worry me, but the size of the waves was alarming. Means the writer was not afraid of the winds, but he was certainly afraid of the waves, means sea waves, up to 15 meters as high as our mainmast. I have shown you what is mainmast, means the longest pole on the ship is the mainmast, means the waves were high up to 15 meters. December 25 found us 3,500 kilometers east of Cape Town, means up to December 25th, they had sailed up to 3,500 kilometers from Cape Town, despite atrocious weather. Despite means in spite of, atrocious weather means bad weather. We had a wonderfully holiday complete with Christmas tree, means they celebrated Christmas Day. New Year's Day saw no improvement in the weather, means when there was New Year's Day, there was still no any change in the weather, but we reasoned, means but the family calculated that it had to change soon, that the weather would change soon, and it did change, means certainly the weather changed for the worse, but for not better. The weather went worse. At dawn on January 2, means on 2nd January, the waves were gigantic, means very huge waves were there. We were sailing only with a small storm jib. Jib, I have told you, a triangular shaped sail, and were still making 8 knots. Means the knot actually refers to the speed of a ship, while nautical mile refers to the distance. Means nautical mile is refers to to measure the distance in the sea, while knot refers to the speed of a ship. Generally it is 1.15 miles per hour. 1.15 miles per hour. So therefore the speed was 8 knots. As the ship rose to the top of each, we could see endless enormous seas rolling towards us. Means the waves were so high, therefore they looked as if they were seas, not waves, but they were seas coming towards them. And the screaming down, we dropped the storm jib and lashed a heavy mooring rope in a loop across the stern. Stern, I have told you, the back portion of the ship, means they lowered the jib, means they lowered the jib so that the speed of the ship might be slowed down. They also tried some ropes to the stern of the ship so that its speed could be controlled. Then we double lashed everything we went through. Life raft drill. Life raft drill means, you know, means there are some of the things which we use when there are adverse circumstances on a ship. Life drill is one of them. Attached lifelines means lifeboats. Dunned oil skins means a kind of cloth which is painted with oil so that the saline water may not affect our body. And life jackets, they also wore life jacket and waited, means and waited to face the challenges. The first indication of impending disaster. Impending means coming. The coming disaster, the coming difficulty came at about 6 p.m. means the first difficulty they faced at about 6 p.m. with an ominous silence. Ominous means indication something ill is going to happen. The wind dropped and the sky immediately grew dark. Means the winds stopped but the sky grew dark. Then came a growing roar, means of a very noisy roar they heard. and an enormous cloud towered aft of the ship. A kind of cloud there was on the ship. With horror, I realized that it was not a cloud, but the next moment the writer knew that it was not a cloud, but it was a wave like no other I had seen. Means this was the hugest wave he had ever seen. It appeared perfectly vertical, means it was particularly perpendicular to his ship, and almost twice as the height of the other waves, means this height of this wave was double than he has seen in his life. With a frightful breaking crest, means this wave fell on his ship, breaking its crest, means the upper surface. The roar increased to a thunder as a stern moved up to face the wave. The roar increased, means this noise of the wave increased as if it were a thunder, and the stern, means I have told you the back portion of the ship moved up to the face of the wave, means it stayed the direction of the ship, and for a moment I thought we might ride over it, means the writer thought that he was riding over this wave. But then a tremendous explosion shook the deck. Then there was a huge explosion. A torrent of green-white water, torrent means wave, of green-white water broke over the ship, means fell upon the ship. My head smashed, means his head was dashed into the wheel, means into the steering wheel, and I was aware of flying overboard, and he felt as if he was flying over it and sinking below the waves, and he was sinking below the waves, heavy waves. I accepted my approaching death, means the writer accepted that he was going to die, and as I was losing consciousness, the writer felt that he was fainting, means he was losing his sense. I felt quite peaceful, means the writer was silent at this moment. Now before we proceed further, now answer me some questions. Now tell me the name of the persons who started sailing the ship. Yes, the narrator, his wife Mary, his son Jonathan, and his daughter Suzanne. Very good. Now tell me the two sailors who joined them at Cape Town. The two persons who joined them at Cape Town. Very good. Larry Wiesel and Herb Segler. Larry Wiesel and Herb Segler. Now, let us proceed further. The writer, I told you, means remain peaceful, means remain silent. Unexpectedly, my head popped out of the water, as he had not expected, but his head came out of water. A few meters away, wave maker. What is wave maker? Yes, you are attentive. Wave maker is the name of their ship, is the name of their boat. Means a few meters away from the wave maker, means from their ship, the writer's head came out of water. And wave maker was near capsizing. Capsizing means to turn over, means the ship was going to turn over in water. Her mast almost horizontal. Mast means the longest pole, I told you, became horizontal, means certainly it was turning over. Then a wave hurled her upright. Suddenly there came another wave, and then it moved the direction of it. My lifeline jerked taut, means if life jacket became tight. I grabbed the guard rails of the and sailed through the air into the wave maker's main boom. Means boom, I have told you, I have shown you in the figure. Means the writer caught the rails, and then he moved towards it, means towards the boom of the main boom of this ship. Subsequent means as a result, waves tossed me round the deck like a rag doll, means like a rag doll, he was thrown by this strong wave onto the ship. My left rib cracked, means the writer's left rib cracked. My mouth filled with blood and broken teeth, means the teeth of the writer was broken, and his back was also paining. Somehow I found the wheel, means anyhow he found the steering wheel, lined up the stern for the next wave and hung on, means there he remained to face the next wave. Water everywhere means there was water everywhere. He could feel that the ship and water blew, but I dared not abandon the wheel to investigate. Means certainly there was everything, there was water everywhere, but he did not dare to go and check and investigate the portion from where the water was coming inside the ship. Now on the next page. Suddenly the front hatch was thrown open, means the front half of the door was open, and Mary appeared, means his wife Mary came to him. We are sinking. She said that we are sinking means they were sinking. She screamed, means in screaming voice she said. The decks are smashed, means the boundary of the ship was smashed. We are all full of water and there is water everywhere. Take the wheel. I shouted, means the writer shouted to his wife and said to take the wheel, means to catch the wheel, to keep on catching the wheel. As I scrambled for the hatch, means the writer, when he scrambled for the hatch, he said that I handle this and you go and keep on doing that you have to do, means you have to steer the wheel, therefore go on catching the wheel. Larry and Herb were pumping like madmen. I have told you the two persons that joined at Cape Town, who joined them at Cape Town. What were these persons doing? These persons were pumping like madmen, means they were pumping water out of the ship. Broken timbers hung at crazy angles, at different angles. The broken timbers, means the wooden structure and wooden things that were broken were hanging here and there. The whole starboard side, means the right side of the boat, I have told you some technical words, some that are related to the ship I have explained you. The starboard side means the right side of the boat, bulged inward, means was coming out inside direction, means inside the boat. Cloths, crockery, charts, tins and toys sloshed about in water, means all these things were on the water, means floating on the water. Sloshed means floated on the water. I half swam, half crawled into the children's cabin. Then the narrator tried to go into the cabin of the children by crawling and by swimming, means he swimmed also and he crawled also. Are you all right? I asked. The writer went there and asked if they were right. Yes, they answered from a upper bunk, means upper berth. From upper berth they answered that they were right, all right. But my head hurts a bit, said Shiv, means Sujan said that there was a hurt on her head, pointing to a big bump above her eyes. Bump means swelling over her eyes. She told that she had injured her head. I had no time to worry about bumped heads. The writer felt that he had no time to worry about it because he had to manage the ship anyhow. After finding the hammer, screws and canvas, means he found out a hammer, screws and canvas. I struggled back on deck, then he went back to the deck with the starboard side, means right side of the boat, and bows open were taking water with each wave that broke over us. If I couldn't make some repairs, we would surely sink, means there were many holes and the water was coming inside the ship through these holes. If he would not repair it, certainly he would sink. Somehow I managed to stretch canvas and secure waterproof hatch covers across the gaping holes, means anyhow he filled the gaps, means the gaping holes. Some water continued to stream below, but most of it was now being deflected over the side. Means when he repaired, means filled these holes, the most of the water was now returned back. Only a little water would come inside the ship, which could be managed, means which could be thrown out by hands. More problems arose when our hand pumps started to block up with the debris floating around the cabins and the electric pump short circuited. Now a new problem was there before him. What was it? His pumping set, means his pumping was blocked, means pumping machine was blocked and electric pump got short circuited. Therefore now he had to throw the water by hands only. The water level rose threateningly, means the water was rising very fearful manner. Back on deck, I found that over 2 spare head pumps and had been wrenched overboard along with the forestay sail, the jib and dinghies over the main anchor. The water level, as I told you, was growing up. Back on deck, I found out that 2 spare hand pumps. The writer found that there were 2 spare hand pumps which had not been used. He had the pumps abroad along with the forestay sail, means from the front, at the front sail. The jib, I have told you, the triangular shape shell, dinghies and the main anchor. Dinghies means small boat, and the main anchor, and the main anchor, which was anchor, I have told you, means an object that is used to stop or to slow the speed of a ship. So all these things he collected to repair. Then I remember, and we had another electric pump under the chart room floor. I connected to an out pipe and was thankful to fit that it worked. Means these 2 pumps became useless, but now there was third pump which was useful for him. For it he thanked God. Now dear students, we will stop at this place, and the next portion we will take up in the second part of this lesson. And before, you have to do some things I give you. Means I have shown you this book and also this figure, and there are some arrow marks. You have to, I have told the names of these portions. You have to name all these portions. You have to name all these portions and revise the lesson. Now thanks for listening us and watching us.